Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crossing the Streams podcast, the only podcast created by streamers for streamers. That's right, we're going to cover everything from streaming tips, tricks, pitfalls, gaming news, etc., etc. I'm joined today by the newest, well, not the newest, but one of the newest members of Global Alteration, ThatGamingDad25. You want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is ThatGamingDad25. I'm a streamer on Twitch. I post YouTube videos. You can catch me on Twitch Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Pacific time. I stream old school PS2 games or anything fun like Fall Guys, stuff like that. And I'm also part of the GA team, so I'm super excited to be here, actually getting to know one of the members. We've been talking a lot, but this is the first person I've actually been able to sit down and talk with. So it should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I had a chance to catch one of your streams, and we've been chatting on uh Twitter quite a bit. Um, and like I gotta be honest, you don't see a lot of like old school gaming on Twitch. I mean, you see people doing like Super Mario 64 speedrunning, but like you don't see a lot of just like picking up an old school game and playing for fun. So like, tell me about that. How'd you get into that?
Well, originally, when I first started streaming, it was, Warzone, right? That's what everybody does, Warzone. And but I kind of forced myself to like it. I've never been a big Call of Duty guy. The first Call of Duty I actually purchased was Cold War, so that should tell you enough, right? Um, and then I enjoy Call of Duty now, but growing up I never did. So when I started streaming, I felt like forced to play Warzone, which was stupid. Never force yourself to play something you don't want to play. But then I finally just came to terms with it more recently when I set my new schedule. I told myself I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna really do this, but I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna waste my time. So I thought, what's something I enjoy doing, and that's games like Fall Guys, where it's like, it's more chill vibes. But I was like, what's something I could play by myself that I'll thoroughly enjoy? And I was like, you know what? There's so many old PS2 games, man, that have amazing stories that I could sit down and play by myself. And even if the chat's not popping like that, I know I'm still gonna have a great time. So that's why I made the move over to the PS2 games.
Yo, that's awesome actually, because the first game I ever streamed was also Warzone.
I think anybody who started streaming with the last 2 years, I think their first game streaming was Warzone or Apex.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Cause like I'm the same way. I am not a shooter guy. Like I don't play shooters at all. I used to play Call of Duty Zombies with my friends in high school. That's like the extent of my my
And
shooter
even
experience.
zombies, I would say I'd have more fun than playing like battle royale or multiplayer. But now I love the hell out of some Cold War. But even then, I don't like streaming Cold War as much because I feel like I can't really offer my full self when I'm streaming Cold War because I'm too busy trying to win,
Yeah,
not really pay attention to the chat or anything.
yeah, you gotta sweat these days. Nobody's out there just like having fun on those games. Everybody's sweating.
Exactly. And then when I do just like try to have fun, I get people come in the chat talking shit. So, you know.
But dude, I totally agree with what you said. Don't play something that you're not like into, cuz it's gonna show in your content at the end of the day. And
Definitely.
I fully agree with what you said about Fall Guys too. You can definitely like the fact that Fall Guys, I mean it's a battle royale, but the games are so quick and like the consequences are like super low for dying. You can just kind of enjoy it.
And exactly, like when I play that with friends, it's kind of more chill, so we can all bring out more personality. So it's not just me, right? It's not just me trying to like show out for the chat. I got my friends, we're cracking jokes and stuff like that. Whereas we're playing Warzone, it's all comms. That's all you
Mhm.
hear in the Discord is comms and me trying to crack jokes here and there. Whereas Fall Guys, we're all just sitting here talking shit, and it's more enjoyable for everybody. I feel like.
Yeah, and that's not to say like if you're someone who enjoys like BRs and Warzone and all that, then like yeah, you stream that, do your thing. I'm just saying like it's not exactly for me, but there
Yeah,
definitely is a place for that on Twitch.
Yeah, and pretty much what I'm getting at is the first, unless you're extremely blessed, the first 2 or 3 years of Twitch, it's very little viewership, very little interaction. It doesn't matter what you play, even if you play one of the more popular games, Warzone, Apex, whatever. So while you're in this phase of your career, your streaming career, do what you're gonna enjoy. Don't feel like you wasted 3 years of your life trying to follow the latest trend. You know,
Yeah, for sure. It's more about, in my experience, it's more about building a community than anything else. And
yeah,
like,
and
well, the
I don't
size
think
of the
people
community doesn't
realize.
matter.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that. Like you said, you get a community, you get some usuals, people you follow on Twitter, but people don't realize that those first few years you're gonna, I would say at most like get like 10 average viewers, but once you get there, that's when it really starts to pop off. But it takes a minute. I've seen a few people get there pretty quick, but it's pretty rare.
It is like, and I've talked about this before. Like, there's one of two things. You have either fantastic gameplay or a fantastic personality, right? And those are both two things that you can actually like practice and work on, you know?
Yeah.
So like, or you can have both fantastic gameplay and fantastic personality. But if you're talking about like Shroud, like the guy's not like super funny, you know? He's just cracked. But like,
And that's the kind of thing, like some people like that, like just like the tournament community, they like to see people just be great at the game.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like if your plays are out of control, then like you've got a place, you know?
And I would say when I used to play Madden, I used to be heavy in the Madden, and I would that would be something I enjoyed watching more. I didn't enjoy watching people crack jokes while they played. I was able to like watch someone just be really good and break down what they were doing, and like I enjoyed that more than seeing someone crack jokes. So I get where people would enjoy that in like the first person shooter space also.
Yeah, for real. But let's talk about the PS2 side of things. How do you pick a game from like the PS2 library is huge,
It's
massive.
humongous.
So how do you pick a
So
game?
so I literally went to Wikipedia, right? There's an entire list of PS2 games, a huge list. And I did a very brief scroll through. This first time around, I only went for games I was in love with, right?
Like games you have nostalgia for?
Exactly. Like NFL Street, NBA Street Volume 2, uh all the Tony Hawk games, Def Jam Fight for New York, Def Jam Vendetta. There's probably like 15 or so games that going down the list, it was like I need this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, eventually I'm gonna run out of those. I'm almost close to running out of my first one, Def Jam. So it's gonna be a while, but eventually I will run out of those. And when that time comes, I'll kind of go down the list and just broaden it up a little bit. Some games I might have played but didn't finish, stuff like that. But for right now, it's just like a core 10 or 15 that I know I'm gonna love playing.
That's awesome. Did you ever play um Sly Cooper?
That's gonna be in that second category. I used to have a rental pass from Hollywood Video. I don't know if they have that where you're at. It's like Best Buy. It doesn't exist anymore, but it used to be like a rental company, right?
Yeah, we had it.
So what they would do, they'd have like a rental pass where you could have like the 1 game pass or the 2 game pass. So instead of renting a game for a full 5 days, you could rent it for as long as you want or as short as you want. So me and my buddy would just like walk over there, pick a game, play it for like 2 hours, and take it back, just so we could try everything, right?
That's
And one of
awesome.
those games fell into that category. It's like Cooper. So it's something I played, but not enough to have nostalgia for. But it's one of those games I'm sure I'm going to enjoy because I love Spyro the Dragon.
Oh
So
yeah.
all those PS2 cartoony story mode games, they all kind of fall into the same place.
My brother and I played Sly Cooper like Slide 2, we played it over and over and over again. That's one of those games that we just like never put down for whatever reason.
For me, one I'm excited to play through is Ratchet and Clank because my neighbor used to come over and play with my sister, and I never got to play it. I would just sit there and watch them play through the story. And so I'm pretty excited to try that one out and actually play through it myself. That should be fun.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank is awesome. I love that game.
And once again, falls into that same category. The Spyro, the Sly Cooper, PS2 had like they had that on a lock as far as like adventure games, like cartoony adventure games. I can't think of any Xbox ones off the top of my head.
Yeah, me either. I never had an Xbox growing up, but like my perception of Xbox from an outsider was like just Halo.
I was spoiled as hell. Growing up, my brother's 5 years older than me, so he was able to get the original Xbox when he was still like younger. But by the time 360 came out, he had a job, but he didn't have any bills. So he like every time a system came out, he just bought it.
Yeah.
So I was lucky to have that.
So let's talk about your background in gaming then since we got there. So how did you get into like gaming in the first place?
Okay, so gaming. Okay, so I remember playing as far back as the Sega Genesis, but that was when I was little, right? Um, I can't even remember what games I played, to be honest with you, but I remember picking up the control. But the first system I remember actually playing was Nintendo 64. Um, Me and my brother and sister used to play through Donkey Kong 64. We used to play through the story mode together. I remember playing Madden 64. I remember playing, GoldenEye, Mario Party. I think it was a great system to start on. Tons of fun games. And then that's when I realized, especially because that's when I realized my dad was a big gamer too.
Mm.
Um, there was a part of Donkey Kong 64 where you have to beat like the arcade mode. You go to the arcade, you have to beat like the old school Donkey Kong game on the arcade. And then there was one of those moments where me, my brother, and my sister couldn't do it. So my dad, it was one of those hold my beer moments. And he was like, boy, like I've been doing this, right? And then my mom told me, oh yeah, your dad used to go to the arcade every day. So that's when I realized, like, it's kind of like you look up, like, oh, my dad's a gamer, I'm gonna be a gamer too. And ever since then, like, you couldn't get me off of the console.
That's awesome. I had a similar experience growing up. We had we had the PS1 first, and then later on we got the PS2. And when we got the PS2, that's when, because I was like super little when we had the PS1. I still remember it, but I was really young.
PS2, that's what you really remember.
Yeah. So when we got the PS2, my mom was playing Tomb Raider, and me and my brother were like sitting in the living room watching her play like the old Tomb Raider games. They're PS1 games, but playing them on the PS2.
Yeah.
And so that's
And the
when we kind of got into gaming for the first time, was watching our mom.
in the PS2, man, like not to go back to it, it's just such a great slate of games. I still die on this hill that the PS2 has a better slate of games than any console to this day.
Yeah,
Like,
I was saying like if you had to pick a greatest of all time console, you it'd be hard to pick a better one than the PS2, I think.
yeah, because obviously graphics improved the further along you go, but just as far as like slate of games that you enjoy playing, PS2 hands down. The only thing you could knock it for is the online was kind of trash, but
But it
like the
was
games
like,
were so fun that you didn't really need to play online.
yeah, the online was trash, but like it was, what year was it when the PS2 came out?
PS2 came out,
Like
sheesh,
2000 or something?
probably a couple years later than that. Um, because I know 64 came out in 98 or 99.
Like online gaming was nothing back then.
Exactly. So, and that's what I was kind of afraid to going back because nowadays I don't play games offline anymore. As far as like on the PS5 or console, I don't play games offline. If I'm playing to win, right?
Mhm.
So I was kind of afraid. I was like, what if I get these PS2 games and I just don't enjoy it anymore? But like I have been thoroughly enjoying it, so that's good.
Yeah, for real. And I've got my PS1 hooked up here uh to my PC, and I've been playing old PS1 games. Like I played the old Harry Potter game, and I had the same thing. I bought that game and I was like, what if this is terrible? And like to be honest with you, the Harry Potter game, not the greatest game ever made, but I had a great time playing it.
One game that's gonna fall into my I want to try it again, but like not in a rush to, was there was a PS2 game, the Harry Potter Quidditch,
Oh yeah.
that I enjoyed playing. Um, One of those games where I went and rented it for an hour and brought it back. So like, but it was a fun game. So I'd be interested to try that again also.
Yeah, it's just something about like for me playing the PS1 games, it's like there's something about the janky controls and like the terrible graphics. It just takes you back.
And the piece of it too is it just takes me back to a different time. Like I said, it's nostalgia for us because we were kids playing this. There might be some kids now that can say the same thing about the PS5 15 years from now.
Yeah.
But it just reminds me of just sitting down, no matter what game I was playing. I was either playing with my brother or my sister. Like me and my brother used to play Madden all day, or NFL Street all day. And it just reminds me of just like sitting down and playing with people, not having to be on Discord and
Yeah,
and
like
talking to people playing online.
sitting on the couch playing, yeah. It was a different time, man. So, let's talk about YouTube a little bit. Um tell me about your YouTube channel just like in general.
All right, so my YouTube channel, I post tips for content creators. I'd say from the medium range to smaller range Twitch content creators. Like obviously, I don't think I got anything for Nick Merckx. I'm pretty sure he has it all figured out. But like I post things that I've learned along the way, different apps to use, different plugins to use, stuff like that I feel are helpful to me. So I kind of pass those tips along to other people also.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me how you decide what to make a video on.
So if I'm being completely honest with you, I kind of like I'll do one or two things. I'll watch one of my VODs and I'll be like, okay, here's something I haven't made a video about, like my talk to speech or something like that. Or I took him off, but I have my Capim on. He's like a little avatar on the bottom of my screen. Um, or just different things that I have on my stream. And I'm like, oh, I haven't made a video about that. Let me do that. Or also, honestly, a lot of them are stuff on my phone. So I'll just like literally, I have a whole content creator folder on my phone. So I'll click it and I'm like, okay, what haven't I made a video on? Because like right here, I got an app to resize images. I got the app I made a video on already that automatically clips your stream. I got an app to make your own website for free. I got an app to display your phone onto your OBS. I got a lot of shit in here. So I kind of just go through my folder and I'm like, oh yeah, let me make a video about that. And every once in a while, some of my buddies know this is what I make videos about. So they'll send me a new app. So I'll make like a review video on that.
That's awesome. So something I always like to think about and talk about is like the actual like flow of a YouTube video. So making educational content like that, like teaching people about a new app or program or whatever. So how do you go about making the actual video? Like what do you think about while you're actually recording, editing, all that?
So first, I make like a generic intro, right? Like let's say the video is gonna be about, let's make up some app that's never gonna exist. This is gonna be a tip on how to get every kill in Warzone, right? So
Okay.
I start off by saying, what's up, everybody? If you're watching this video, you're trying to get better at Warzone and you want to find out about this app that's going to get every kill for you, but don't trip, you're here and I got you. Simple intro, right?
Super quick intro.
And from what I've learned, once again, not a professional, I only have 100 subs, but don't overextend the intro. And if you're gonna do an intro, tell the people introduce what you're talking about. So if someone's coming for a Warzone cheat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be like, hey, what's up, everybody? My name is ThatGamingDad. I post on Twitch Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Pacific time. Also, make sure to subscribe on the channel, drop a like and comment. They don't give a fuck about that, right? They just, if you're gonna do an intro, tell them what they're here for and reassure them that they're here for that. So they're like, okay, cool, I'm in the right place.
Yeah, that's great. That's great intel.
And then from there, I try to do mine like in steps, right? The first step is gonna be boom, download this app. You can find it on the App Store. I'll leave a link in the description. Second step, you gotta log in with your username, your Activision username. You log in, boom, boom, boom. And the third step, you go through your settings. You activate this setting, this setting, this setting. And I extended a little bit, but I generally try and make it in steps. And the reason I do that is because something else I've learned to get retention on your videos more is it's kind of simple is to switch the angle of your camera, right? And to do that, you can either actually move your camera or you could flip your when you're editing post, you can flip it. So what that does is, I do a couple things. I switch the camera angle, I switch the song, and every once in a while I switch the lighting in the back, the colors. And what that does is subconsciously keeps the viewer engaged, right? Something new. I do a transition. With the transition, you get a new angle, you get new lights in the background, and a new song. And the songs are kind of quieter, so you might not even notice the song switch, but just a couple things to make you re-engage with the viewer.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
I,
awesome. Like that you think about all that while you're editing and even while you're recording. That's great stuff. Switching the camera angle. I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's just something simple like we're talking right here. Normally I'll have it a little bit more zoomed out and I'll be like on one side, right? Like I'll be on this side. So that way whether I decide to actually move the camera over here or if I forget to move the camera, I could just flip it in post. So when I flip it, it'll look like I'm on this side, right?
Yeah.
So it's small things that you don't even notice that people are doing, and that's what I look for when I watch other people's videos is the small things that they do.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And obviously I'm still learning. I'm still like I just started video editing like maybe 2 months ago for the
Oh,
first time.
trust me, man. I'm still learning too. It's a lot to take in.
But I mean the idea of this podcast is for people that are also still learning. So this is awesome. Awesome information. I'm definitely going to try that. Try switching the camera up a little bit. I'm already thinking about like what I could be
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. I would say in your case, since you like your room, like you have it set up with the guitars in the back and everything, and your camera is pretty centered. I don't. I would say yeah. Switch the camera angle itself. Don't do the flipping thing because then you're gonna force yourself to like, okay, well, let me record from over here.
Mhm.
Like it'd be easier for you to just switch the camera. If it's easy, like mine is a webcam, it clips onto my monitor, so it's pretty easy for me to
Yep.
just boom, boom.
Same for me.
So yeah, so that's kind of the easier solution. Find a couple angles you like, memorize those spots, and just yeah, switch between a few of them.
I put like a piece of tape on the monitor where the camera's supposed
So
to
you
go.
know exactly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're giving me so many ideas, dude. This is great. Okay, so um you were talking about that program that automatically clips your streams.
Oh yeah, so that one is called Powder, right?
And
Uh,
you got like clouded from that, didn't you? The
that was lit. Actually, that was I was at work, so excited. And my brother, okay, so I do pest control. Um, a lot of my job, I'm on the phone with my brother and one of my other coworkers, right? Because if you're working by yourself all day, and if you're not talking to somebody or listening to a podcast, you're gonna go insane, right? So I get back in my truck after I finish the house and I see like a mention on Twitter. Now, granted, they commented on the YouTube video, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, oh shit, that's dope that they found this YouTube video. and they commented on it. And I get back in my truck and I get a mention on Twitter. I'm like, oh, who's mentioning me on Twitter? And then I'm like, holy shit! Not only did they did a nice little overlay for it. They edited my video to make it 60 seconds to put like the key points in there. And I was just like, oh my god! Like the actual company that makes this app shouted me out. I had a huge smile on my face. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think that's a sign that you're doing something right, you know?
Yeah, and I also I did the same thing. A similar thing happened with I don't know if you know what Athena scope is.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So yeah, same thing. I made a video on Athena scope, and they responded. They didn't do like a full like shout out type thing, but they did respond to the tweet that I posted about it with the link to the video, saying like, "Oh, they appreciate me showing out to the community" type thing. So yeah, like that's my goal too. That's not why I do it on the apps, but it's always cool to see the people working with the apps to like respond to it.
Yeah, and I think like the fact that you found something that you enjoy making videos about and that you kind of have a knack for it.
Yeah, because like I told you, like my worst trait is that I'm always trying to learn new stuff.
Hey,
Like
if
I
that's
can't
your
tell
worst
you,
trait, then you're in like
like I can't tell you how many times I Google or look on YouTube like best streaming apps or look on the App Store, stream apps, Twitch apps. And then like I got just about all of them at this point, but if a new one comes out, I'm gonna get it. Like
I mean, that's awesome. So, one more thing I want to ask about your YouTube. So, um, over the course of making your videos, what have you noticed about videos that do well versus videos that don't do as well?
so, um, I used to have a separate YouTube channel that I did more gaming content on. I used to do a lot of tutorials, right? Like for 2K, for Madden, like how to get these badges on 2K for fast, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Those always got a lot of views. I mean, by a lot, I'd say like 500, 600 views, which is a lot for me, right?
Yeah.
But I don't game anymore. So transitioning from that, I've realized now that the one video I got the best views on is a little bit over 1,000 views was because I ranked it in search, right?
Hmm.
So I thought of a idea because what happened was I saw a video on
And real
how
quick,
to
when he says rank it in search, that means you make a title that people are gonna search in the YouTube search bar.
yeah, so it's something that they're gonna search, but also you want to balance it out to something that they're gonna search, but not a lot of people made videos on. So when they search that title, yours will be like one of the first five up there. So I saw a video on someone on how to resize a picture of yourself to make it an emote, right?
Hmm.
And I was like, well, I mean, that's cool and everything, but I got a way you could definitely do that better. You know, there's an app that can make you into a cartoon that's free. So let's start with that. And then you could do, there's another website you can erase the background for yourself for free. And then I used his app that you resize it. And then bada bing, bada boom, in 3 steps, you got an emote, right? And I even showed you like how to add text to it. And then that video blew up because I titled it "How to Make Emotes on Your Phone for Free."
That's
When
a
you search,
great title.
when you search exactly that, it ranks number one on search. If you search that word for word, but if you search how to make emotes for phone, it's like top three. Or how to make emotes for free, it's like top five. But if you search how to make emotes for phone for free, it's number one, and that's the one that's blown up the highest. I do have another one that I was pretty excited to post, but I haven't really got the same results yet. But it's gonna be one of those that might grow over time. It's how to make sub badges from your phone, and
Yeah, I saw that
what?
video.
And once again, if you search how to make sub badges from your phone, it's number one on search. If you search how to make sub badges on your phone for free, it's number one on search. So it's just if people start searching that, they're gonna see my video. I guess there's just not as big of a demand as I thought there would be for that.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
then
that's my goal.
the nice thing about ranking in search is that it will get views over time as people continue searching for that. And if it's something that people genuinely want to know, like obviously people want to know how to make emotes on their phone, because like emotes are something that every Twitch streamer eventually is gonna need to make.
Exactly.
So
And then
like
what
ranking it in search for something like that is a really good idea.
And then so also pretty much so that's my main. If I really want a video to take off, I try and rank for search. But they say some videos aren't meant to rank in search, and
Mm,
for those videos, they're meant for people to see on your recommended pages or their home pages. For those, you don't want to do how-to titles, right?
right.
You want to do more engaging titles. So say,
Clickbait.
I yeah, exactly. Well, not clickbait. You want to tell the truth. But say like that sub badge video, say like I searched it on YouTube and it wasn't ranking at all. It wasn't ranking in the top 10, top 20. I might want to reconsider the title. I might go back and switch it to these apps. Like I might switch the thumbnail to like me holding my phone and change the title like these apps made making sub badges so easy.
Yeah, that's a great example. Like how to make sub badges for free on your phone versus these apps made sub badges so easy.
Yeah,
Like
so like if you're
that's
searching
ranking in
for
search
it,
versus ranking in browse.
and if you're looking in search for that, you might not click on my video if I put these apps made sub badges so easy because it's not exactly what you look for. But if you're looking through your recommended page, you might not be necessarily be looking for that. You see that title, but maybe maybe click it. Let me see what that's talking about.
Yeah. Like and that's I mean, I couldn't have come up with a better example if I tried. But
Yeah, it's just two very distinctive thumbnails could be generally the same, but title determines, who's gonna click on it.
and that's one of the biggest things that I've kind of been trying to work on is thumbnails and titles since I started making content because I had a whole bunch of videos on my YouTube channel that I unlisted because they
Same.
just weren't like what I want my channel to be anymore. And they didn't have thumbnails. The titles were like super whatever. And like the biggest thing I've learned cuz I used to think thumbnails didn't matter. And that's like the biggest mistake that you can make. They super matter a lot. So I've been like putting a lot more effort into making thumbnails and like actually putting more effort into just editing cuz like my old videos were just recorded gameplay that I threw up on the channel. Um but I've come to the realization that effort will have an impact on what happens to your channel and people
Definitely.
can see that.
And as far as the thumbnails, I'm not trying to brag. I feel like my thumbnails are fire. I
Oh,
love my
your
thumbnails.
thumbnails are like
And
I've looked through your channel and I'm like I feel like clicking all of this.
and now, but once you get it down for a little bit, like once you get your style, I can make a thumbnail in like 10 minutes, like max, right? But editing is something I literally sit here for bare minimum 2 hours editing a video, just like because I enjoy it too. It's not something I feel like is a chore. I sit here and enjoy, doing all the different things with it. And like you said, you could know this when I'm far from professional. Like if you watch like Harris Heller
Oh
or
yeah.
who's a guys like that, you could tell they have professional editors. I'm
Mhm.
trying to get there. I'm not quite there, but you could definitely tell I'm putting the effort in.
Yeah, and that I think people see that. If people see like I'm not saying that just ripping gameplay and VODs is bad, but it definitely shows a different side or a different like amount of effort than like making a highly edited video. And that's people pick up on that. And you can have VODs on your channel. There's nothing wrong with that. You can have a VOD channel. But I'm just saying like for me, I feel like the effort shows.
Yeah, I kind of went through that phase of I would just get highlights from my VODs and post it
Mhm.
on YouTube. That died out really fast. Like my first one I posted actually had like 70, 80 views, but then the people got tired of saying like, "Oh, crazy Warzone experience."
Yeah.
Like, and then it went from like 70 to like 20 to like 10 to like 5. That's okay. So the subscribers aren't liking this anymore. Okay, cool.
Well, dude, I'm gonna have to call it on time here, but this has been one of the most informative episodes I think that I've had so far. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I know you had to get up early
No problem, man.
because time zones.
I mean, like I said, I'm normally up. Like I probably woke up like 30 minutes earlier than normal, so not a big deal. And I appreciate you having me on. Always happy to talk and share anything I could share. Honestly,
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna have to get you on here again because I could tell you have a lot more information that we didn't get to talk about. So
yeah, for sure, man. We could dig deep next time. I'm down for that.
absolutely. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. If you enjoyed it, be sure to click the like button. You can see right below our faces here, we've got on Twitter at Brigadoon, on Twitter at ThatGamingDad25. And if you want to drop a follow for Global Alteration, you can see what all of us are up to over there at Altered Globe on Twitter. And I'll see you guys next time on Crossing the Streams.